This is interesting to me because I feel like I do this constantly because I hate having games ruined for myself. 7 times you made the game harder by accident, which makes me feel better, like it's not my fault for doing it, even though it is because I'm the one playing. I feel like I do this all the time. I play games, I'm just like, wow, this is so difficult, but I don't want to look up any help. So this is by Outside the Box, and let's get into it.
And beware of minor plot spoilers for the following games.
Alrighty. Dark Souls 2, Dawn Guard. Okay, that's not. Playing as Chris.
What is that?
I'll go and check.
Playing as Chris
Okay,
Redfield.
Jill and I will stay in the hall in case of an emergency.
At the start of the original Resident Evil, you're given the choice to play as either Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine. This is a tough decision because up to this point, your only knowledge of them comes from the game's live-action intro.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City.
Do not
where
ruin
we're
the
searching for the
original Resident
helicopter
Evil
of our
game at all.
compatriots Bravo Team.
Joseph!
No! Don't go!
Is there a Charlie team as well? Can I be one of them? Just going off appearances, you might think that picking Chris Redfield is going to give you an easier time of it, on account of how burly Chris is built like a triangle that's taken up powerlifting. But in actual fact, by picking Chris in both the original Resident Evil and the remake, you're making the game much harder for yourself.
Just for
and
the
not
character.
just because it's harder to fit through doors. For a start, and in defiance of all logic, Chris can actually carry fewer items than Jill Valentine.
What?
Jill can tote 8 items around with her, whereas Chris is limited to 6,
Dang.
proving once and for all that those biceps are just personal trainer show muscle. As anyone who's come across a crucial item with a full inventory in a Resident Evil game will tell you, the more inventory slots the better, as this will save you tons of backtracking to item boxes. There is also the fact that, early in the game, Jill is given a lockpick, meaning that she can pick simple locks, such as drawers, whenever she comes across them.
Damn.
Jill, here's a lockpick.
Just
Chris,
cuz.
meanwhile, needs to find single-use old keys lying around if he wants to open these locks.
Oh my
This puts him at
gosh.
another disadvantage because said locks usually guard goodies such as ammo, health, and ink ribbons. With these disadvantages,
That's
you'd expect
terrible.
Chris to be better at combat to even things out.
Yeah.
But although Chris can take more hits, it's Jill who gets the game's most useful weapon, the grenade launcher, later in the game.
Damn.
It's also Jill who had the foresight to bring a gun to this mission, whereas Chris starts with only a knife.
What? What? What the heck? That's trash.
Did you forget your gun, Chris? Is there a gun sat on a desk
you-
somewhere in the Raccoon City Police
you
Department with a
forget-
post-it note stuck to it saying, "Remember gun"? Honestly, wouldn't surprise me.
Did you
Jill's
forget your
greatest
gun,
advantage,
Chris?
however, is how she's near constantly accompanied by Barry Burton, the world's most useful video game companion. When Barry's not saving you from ceiling traps and enabling you to completely bypass the puzzle to get the shotgun,
Oh, Barry!
That was too close.
The delay.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
he is straight up just doing boss fights for you, so you don't have to waste any of your precious health or ammunition.
Wow. What the fuck?
Nice! Do you do other games, Barry? I'm having trouble with Ornstein and Smough in Dark Souls.
Can of fizz. It's
Weak
sure
sauce. The
ain't
niggas are not that
yellow,
hard.
Those things. It's yours.
Ah,
Just kidding.
Thanks,
It's one of
Barry.
the hardest
You're the
boss
best.
fights ever. Dark Souls. These niggas are trash play. Vampire the Mosquito Bloodline? What even game is this? I've never even seen this before in my life.
No game does sexy vampires like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. This is a game where you can literally flirt your way out of life and death situations.
Help you?
He looks like Tyler
Just
one.
go in.
I
That's
can't
funny.
even flirt my way to a free pint. All I get is asked to leave the pub.
Wow.
The other thing Bloodlines does really well is deeply unsexy vampires. You know, the ones that look like a bat had a
Ew.
baby with the lead singer of a goth metal
Ew,
band.
he looks gross.
A face only a mother, who is also a bat, could love.
Yeah.
What's more, if you choose to play as a member of the Nosferatu clan, you're in effect activating an unofficial hard mode. Nosferatu vampires look so spectacularly horrifying that they can't walk the streets without immediately alerting the entire world to the existence of vampires.
Oh, and then they just start scrapping you. What the fuck?
Which
He's
means
a
you instead
mutant
have to
killer.
navigate the
It looks like a
underground sewer
burn
system
victim.
like
You
a
would
sort of
just shoot
creepy
somebody who's
fifth
burnt
Ninja
up.
Turtle. And with a face like that, the artist you'd be named after is Picasso. You can't even really nip up topside for a quick bite to replenish your blood supply like vampires from the other clans. Instead, you'll have to catch rats and suck them dry like a little furry juice box.
Ew.
How are you going to look Master Splinter in the eye after that? So yes, creating a Nosferatu character makes the game world considerably more difficult to negotiate. And because your maximum seduction level is capped at 0 for the entire game, all that lovely flirting is right off the table.
It's 0 the whole time. Appearance, you're hideous. That's what you
man,
are.
I just realised I should probably stop wearing this to the pub. Duh.
Attractiveness, you are hideous, and there's nothing you can do about it. Is that Fallout?
Some things in life are easier for intelligent people. 1. Crossword puzzles.
Okay.
2. Holding conversations in nuclear wastelands.
Okay.
Accordingly, life itself gets generally easier or harder according to your intelligence, at least in the Fallout
Yeah,
games.
it's the original Fallout. We all know what Fallout looks like. My cat is slapping this thing on my
If you
lap.
decide when making your Fallout
Please.
character you're going to sacrifice all your intelligence points so you can hit the bad things real good, you might sink your special points into strength and agility, for instance, leaving you with an intelligence stat of 0. If that's the case, then look out.
Bloody fine job making it through the defenses, mate. I'm rather impressed. Toss me your name. Well, na. How did a total moron such as yourself get past my defenses?
Your highly agile, muscular hero with the lowest possible intelligence rating will find themselves barely able to string a few words together, like me on 4 hours sleep.
No, not that. I want the computer chip. No, the chip. Just give me the chip.
You might be left with no more than a handful of ineloquent dialogue options, struggling to make yourself understood by your fellow wasteland survivors.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
have fun picking your way through a subtle, tricky conversation with that going on.
You're wearing a vault suit. I never imagined I would meet an inhabitant of another vault.
Vault!
This Vault 13. Where is it located? That must be your IQ on your jumpsuit, not a vault number.
Oh my
As if
God.
post-apocalyptic life wasn't hard enough, now I can't even
That's
enjoy a
actually
simple
freaking
crossword
hilarious.
puzzle. 4 down, 4 letters, not smart, J-A-N-E.
Okay, what is this? Using kinetic. I've never played this game, and I have no willingness to. This game looks hilarious.
You remember
horrifying.
Kinect, right? It's that hunk of plastic that added 80 quid to the cost of your Xbox One, blocked the remote control sensor at the bottom of your television, and now makes a really excellent doorstop. Back when
Damn.
Alien Isolation was released,
There's
though,
still like
every
$100
single
too if you wanna
Xbox
buy
One
one.
came with a Kinect, so adding some Kinect features to the game didn't seem quite as much like an incredible waste of everyone's time. I'm still smarting over that 80 quid. That's like 2 whole games. Still, we
Yeah,
paid for the
it's a
thing,
lot.
and we were going to use it, damn it. Plus, some of the Kinect features in Alien Isolation are actually pretty handy. For example, you can use it to physically lean in order to peek around corners, thus exposing as little of your delicious flesh as possible to the 9-foot space monster stomping around the place.
Bro, most of the game is hiding. That's just not something I want to do, man. For real. That just does not sound fun.
There weren't any other motion controls, but that's fine because all you'd be doing is this.
Yeah, exactly.
Where things got harder than a granite statue of Jason Statham is with the option to activate sound detection. This
What?
feature uses the Kinect array of microphones to alert the in-game alien to any noises that occur in the real world.
Why would you do
that? The
that?
idea is that if you're so terrified by the sight of the alien that you let out a little real-life whimper, then the alien will hear you and come and eat your face off.
Yeah. No! Oh my gosh. Shut up, ChavezzSlovakia. So I just didn't realize what was happening in the clip because they didn't fucking tell me.
Just suppress all your emotions and work it out 20 years later in therapy. That's what I do.
How's it working for you?
Of course, some players will be brave enough to remain completely silent throughout. The problem is that the game can't recognize the difference between the sound of a scream and, say, a text message alert, or the dog barking to be let out,
Really?
or a bit of nervous wind. Although I suppose that one's fair game. Either way, all this means it's entirely possible to die in Alien Isolation when your mum shouts up to ask whether you want potato waffles or turkey dinosaurs for dinner.
Are you kidding me? Bro, get the fuck out of there.
Which makes it officially the most embarrassing death in the entire Alien universe since that idiot first shoved his face right inside a creepy looking horror egg. I mean, really.
Becoming a chicken. What? Of course that would make your life difficult, becoming a chicken.
A wise woman once said,
"In place of a dark lord, you would have a queen, not dark, but beautiful and terrible
that's pretty cool.
as the dawn."
That's pretty cool.
I think we can all identify with that. That same elf woman also said that even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
Even
and she
a
was
chicken.
right, but presumably when Galadriel says smallest person, she draws the line at tiny hobbits and not even tinier chickens. Because a chicken is going to have a really hard time
Those are
changing
people?
the course
Are those
of the
people
future,
as chickens
no
or just
matter how
chicken? It
heroic
just says
it
chicken
is.
for those people.
Could I take a moment of your time?
See, in Lord of the Rings Online, you can access so-called chicken play, in which you play as a level 1 chicken. And not like a figurative, cowardly chicken, but like an actual, literal, feathery chicken.
Mound of dirt. Run, bitch!
As a chicken, however, you will discover your powers are ridiculously limited. Within the bucolic confines of the Shire, this is fine and good. But your chicken-specific quests will take you much further afield to places where Middle-earth's meanest enemies can kill you with a single hit. And all you can do is play dead and find worms. So yeah, good luck with not winding up someone else's winner-winner chicken dinner.
That was so funny. Oh shit. Ah, you fucking dead.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. Frodo had a whole fellowship looking after him and a mithril vest. If you stick with chicken mode, on the other hand, what you get for risking your feathery neck is a cloak with a chicken on it that lets you make clucking sounds. I don't know. To me, that seems like a paltry reward.
I would do that.
What?
That's a good joke, by the way. Don't let them hate you. Join the company of champions. Yeah, okay. Join the company of champions in Dark Souls. Okay, ChavezzSlovakia, let's just make something very clear, okay? There is making a game much harder by accident, and then there's joining a covenant in Dark Souls without reading what it does first. That's gotta be your fault. That's basically like, that is literally like shooting yourself in the foot and then complaining that it hurts, okay? I'm just telling you.
You don't need us to tell you that the Dark Souls series is legendarily difficult. You've been on the internet since 2011. You know that the word git is to be immediately followed by the word god, even though neither of those are proper
Fuck off.
It's therefore likely you don't want to make Dark Souls 2 any harder than it already is. Or if you do, you want to do it in the usual obvious way, by choosing a deprived character with a rubbish weapon and merely some skimpy underwear to protect them.
But it lets you level up so fast. It's amazing. I'm playing again as a cleric right now. That shit's OP.
You seem to have confused praising the sun with sunbathing. Easy mistake to make. In Dark Souls 2, the Company of Champions is a covenant that can be joined early in the game in the hub area Majula by kneeling in front of this rock and selecting the answer yes 3 times. This is something it's entirely possible to do without really appreciating what joining the Company of Champions entails. Sure, the description is slightly intimidating, explaining that the journey ahead will be arduous. But then this is Dark Souls 2, which means we're veterans fresh off completing the whole of Dark Souls 1.
Not true. Yeah, I'll say most people didn't even fucking finish this shit.
We got frightened by Ornstein and Smaug and stuff. At any rate, arduous is a hilariously understated term for the Dark Souls 2 death march that follows when you join this covenant. Company of Champions reduces the amount of damage you dish out, increases the amount of damage you receive, and deactivates the enemy despawning system that made commuting around Dark Souls 2 far less stressful than in the original.
Ha ha ha.
Okay,
hilarious.
Well, scratch Dark Souls 2. Maybe Ornstein and Smaug have calmed down by now.
That was dumb. Who does that? Did you die there on purpose? Who does that? Why would you take that hit and then immediately heal with him standing in front of you and in a swing animation? Are you trying? You're fucking trolling us right now. Nobody did that shit. You would obviously just spam roll until you were safe. Nobody would take that hit, be blocking.
See, they get to cooperate. So unfair.
Fucking trolling us, dude. Well, what does that do? The Dawn Guard.
They can stop us. But we will find them.
Doing the right thing can be kind of tough, like handing in a wallet full of cash you found, or not leaving a Japanese cat cafe with a trench coat full of kittens. Now especially. And choosing to do the right thing in Skyrim's Dawnguard lands you with an even greater penalty than a lifetime ban from the city of Tokyo. They'll come around one day. See, in this vampire-themed DLC, you're offered the choice between becoming an anti-vampire Dawnguard crusader or becoming an evil vampire lord.
Perhaps you still need convincing. Behold the power!
Nice!
That I offer.
That's kind of sick.
Make your choice.
That's kind of sick, actually.
Naturally, the temptation is to offer up your neck with a complimentary side of curly fries to the guys who will make you an all-powerful vampire whose benefits include, but are not limited to, a 50-point boost to health, stamina, and magicka, the ability to hover, and the power to transform into a swarm of bats.
Yeah. I'm down for that, actually. I'm actually super down.
On the other hand, what does a new Dawnguard recruit get as part of his or her welcome pack? A crappy crossbow, which requires you to constantly conserve ammunition.
I'm glad we're finally taking the fight to those monsters.
You know what doesn't need ammunition? 4-inch-long vampire claws.
Yep. All right.
Just maybe book in for a mani every few weeks. Keep those things on fleek. And the worst part of all this doing the right thing is that eventually you have to agree to become a vampire anyway because story, meaning that you wasted hours struggling through the game as a Dawnguard chump.
You've become the very thing you've sworn to destroy. I don't know how the Dawnguard will react.
Ugh, that's worse than the time they made me return all those kittens, which I did.
Where did this kitten come from?
Hey, they chose me, all right?
That's super funny. So you just have to become a vampire anyway. Well, sometimes games like Skyrim are fun to do stuff like that, and even if it does make the game harder, because it's not that difficult to begin with. It's one of those RPGs that you just spend the time, you'll have fun playing it. So that was really good, dude. That was a pretty good list. Some of those are pretty old, but it was lit, man. I'll see you on the next one, ChavezzSlovakia. Peace.
Crocs, 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 Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. My Crocs are gold. My pops is old. My Crocs got soul. My Crocs are bold. I go to church wearing Crocs. I'm always turned wearing Crocs. My Crocs are great. Your Crocs are lame. With my Crocs, I can cross a lake. Crocs, 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 Crocs.